The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Papa Squad, Papa with a cold look at your boys. It is Monday. We're in a brand new week. Well, it's Monday for you. It's Saturday for us, but that doesn't matter. Time is relative, and what the time is it? It's time for you to be listening in to a brand new episode of The Black Files.
Now with extra echo.
Yes,
Yep.
indeed. In surround sound.
Quadrovision.
Welcome to the uncensored interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. This is the Black Files. I'm your host, Juan, one of the heads of Ravens Flock. We're recording this in the convention floor at FANTASM Orlando, hosted at the Rose and Shingle Creek Hotel and Resort in Orlando, Florida.
Very luxurious, I would like to add.
We're off in a nice secluded spot where we can record in relative undisturbance, and we'll try to keep this one as short as we can. And I've got the other heads of the Ravens Flock. To my left is Angel Mendez.
Nice to be here, as usual.
And directly ahead of me is Jose Casabona.
How you doing, everybody? Hello.
And this week we're actually going to be discussing two current events, well, as current as we can get it for, the Monday after that we find out.
Strike when the iron is lukewarm.
Yeah, no, well,
Yeah,
actually,
sort
that's because it's sort of a little bit more malleable, but it also has enough strength to endure. Sort of like
So-
we're enduring other people, we're enduring beyond other
The climate change.
crap and climate change and all that jazz. But before we go,
It may not be raging fire, but it's still smoldering fire.
Before we go too much further into what we're actually discussing, I'm going to go ahead and give our usual disclosure. For first-time listeners, this is an uncensored interview and review podcast. That means that if we discuss anything in media, that there will be spoilers. We'll discuss whatever we watch or listen to or play, and we're going to spoil the hell out of it. Also, there would be swearing, so this is for a mature audience, so we will have very bad words. And also, we're going to have opinions that may or may not clash with your piddly little worldview. If that's something you can't stand, go ahead and tune out now. Otherwise, we invite you to embrace our callous fucking sailor mouths, our psychotic opinions on stuff, and we embrace that you embrace us and listen in and tell us what you have to think afterwards.
Embrace us. Tell us how good we are to you. Abandon us for a much better looking man later down the line.
And then when that better looking man abandons you for some bitch around the corner, you come crawling back to us 18 years later telling me how you missed us so much, but then you tell you, sorry baby, the train has passed.
Yeah. Wait, this metaphor go way out of hand.
We're not saying...
No, it hasn't. This is actually the natural conclusion. That happens to me so many times I can't even think straight.
All right.
No, we
I
went
got
there.
so many bitches in my closet. No, I'm kidding.
For
So
those
you're telling me that
listening
you have
in...
99 problems?
But a bitch ain't one.
Guys, for those listening in, yes, we're not saying don't have an opinion. You're free to say what you want. It doesn't make you any less of a human being.
Yes,
what
it
we're
does.
saying,
No, it doesn't.
What we're saying is open your minds and actually open your minds to different ideas and different concepts and absorb knowledge before making an opinion.
We are subtly implying your opinion is less than what it actually is. Don't worry. We actually mean it. All of it. So anyway,
all
thank you,
means.
Gandhi, for joining us today on this fantastic broadcast. I gotta say, I'm enjoying the locale. This hotel, what do you say it was called?
The Rose and Shingle Creek
Very
Hotel and Resort.
spacious. I've been walking for like 3 hours. I haven't actually met an actual person. It's
Very
great.
spacious, and I love the furniture around here.
Holy
I'm
shit.
sorry, I'm a thing
So-
for black
Sorry, no.
couches.
There's a lady at the water fountain. She's got one of those head traps from Saw.
Also,
like-
no wonder we ended up in the quiet corner. We're next to the bathrooms.
Huh.
It's great.
Perfect.
Actually, yes.
Now we
that
know
is
exactly
perfect.
where to put all the content of this show.
Now, Juancho, I'm actually glad that we're here in this con. I'm glad we're having a wonderful time. But as far as we're about to talk about, I understand that there's been some developments.
You don't even. You were being so nonplussed about all this. No. Okay.
Kinda have to be.
There's two things that we wanted to talk about. The first is the latest developments on the stupid ass court case that Vic Mignogna is throwing at people who have been throwing their accusations to him about sexual harassment and assault and being an inappropriate shit. And his response was, "How dare you? I'm the most beloved man in all of anime. I'm going to sue you all." How did that turn out?
So for actual context here, for actual context, Mr. Mignogna decided to raise a countersuit against the other voice actors
For,
of
like,
Defamation, for
slander
supposedly
and
slander
defamation.
defamation. And then what I can only describe as prying defeat from the jaws of victory, for what we understand. Not only was his lawyer somewhat lackluster, Mr. Mignogna didn't even show up to the actual hearing, did he?
No, he did not.
Was there any explanation why he didn't do that? Did he even give an excuse?
Supposedly,
know.
He's in such high demand. He is so famous and so popular.
Come
He
on
needs to be at a
now.
convention. Dude,
Let's talk
you're
facts
being,
now.
you were
Juan,
throwing
Juan.
a subpoena a subpoena to show up at court. That means if you do not come to court, odds are your ass gets benched and some freaking dog the bounty hunter comes after you. Thank God that your lawyer showed up.
So,
God almighty. No, seriously, if his lawyer hadn't shown up either,
that would have been a disaster.
A, they would have thrown the case out, and B, they would have probably he might have the judge might have actually thrown a bench warrant on him, like, okay, this guy refused a legal summons. We need to bring him for arrest.
Yep.
And then you have Dog the Bounty Hunter, who's also sort of psychotic racist too.
So long
but that's not the point.
Instead of actually, instead of worrying about the fact that he's supposed to be, keeping his head down and proving his innocence about the previous accusations,
I am so popular.
he instead decided to apparently move the buck to the other actors, only to have the case essentially cancelled and thrown out because A, he didn't show up, and B, whatever his lawyer did can only be described as lackluster.
And C, just to pull a reference from Fullmetal Alchemist, he wanted to end this with a fist to their faces, but they wouldn't let him.
Unfortunately, equivalent exchange doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah, I know.
Because if Mr. Mignogna is
bad.
not willing to show up in front of the court to testify his words and reasons, he's not exactly going to help his case.
No, exactly.
More importantly, though, I still can't understand why he couldn't concentrate on just proving his innocence. After all, if you prove yourself innocent, that means you prove everyone else wrong.
No,
Am I right?
No. In this particular instance, he shouldn't he shouldn't have thrown this stupid defamation case in the first place. What he should have done is okay, you know what? You want to accuse me? Go ahead and bring the burden of proof out.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'm going to sit here quiet and let you bury yourself. But he couldn't even do that.
He ran into the front lines with no weapon and no armor, and he got shot.
Yeah,
and he gets pissed off at the other voice actresses who threw the accusation at him for how dare you accuse me of something that I cannot and will not defend myself on.
Yeah,
but you're so bad.
And Juan, you actually have a point. This actually goes back to referencing back a couple episodes. I know we've talked about this before, and Angel, you do make a good point that there has to be actual facts, actual proof to add weight and credibility to the situation. But you've got to admit, if Vic's part in this entire situation has been completely dumbfounded.
How's it going, guys?
It has been incredibly immature and rather
Don't mind
unprofessional of him. Now, mind you, I can understand why he would be angry if his own co-workers basically threw him under the bus. That would make me really angry too. But considering the kind of accusations leveled towards him, the smart thing would be prove your innocence first, accuse everyone else second. As Juan himself said, sit back, let them try to prove you, because all they have to do is fail at proving you guilty, and that's enough to justify innocence most of the time.
And especially when it comes to these days in terms of court of public opinion.
Yeah.
But the issue of it is that doesn't mean that, okay, I got to say this for the record, none of us are actually saying that Monica Rial or anyone else who's been accusing him that they're lying or that they're making it up. Not in the least.
We stand by the basics of innocent until proven guilty like anyone else.
And as along with that, we also stand with the belief that these ladies wouldn't be just making this up for fucking money or fame. There has to be a kernel of truth on it, especially considering that this isn't the first time he's been accused of being sexually inappropriate with people. As we've said before, you can only smell smoke for so long
before you realize there's a chemical spill and people are dying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess whatever.
But ultimately,
kill my analogy, sure. I don't give a shit. No, it's like
well, you are right.
You can't ignore the fire for that long. There's got to be something there. If these many people are coming out with these many separate, unconnected fucking accusations, and not and them all being so similar and so close to the mark.
It's a very bizarre proposition in the fact of everybody has accusations, nobody has any proof. So does that mean that he's been getting away with it with 10 plus years? Getting away with what exactly?
Also, you have
grabbing people inappropriately, going up to them, going sexual innuendo. The thing with Jessie Pridemore, she got into a bit with another dude, and he thought that he could slide up on her and talk dirty with her because he thinks that she was easy, and that's bullshit. It's because her experience is hers, and she wasn't wanting any of that, and she certainly didn't need that shit from Vic.
Yeah. So ultimately, it seems to boil down to a case of Vic. Keep your hands to yourself.
I don't have to. I'm the best in the whole world.
Oh my
People
God.
want me as Captain Kirk forever. I get to be the most famous voice actor in the world. No, dude, I don't care if you're Elvis Presley reborn as Jesus Christ in the body of 22-year-old Mother Teresa. I'm betting that when she was younger, she was probably hot.
Actually,
but that's
Mother
not even the
Teresa
point.
was never that much of a saint.
No,
We'll talk about that later.
No, but the point that I'm making is I don't care if you're that combo. If you're an asshole, and if you're grabbing people without permission, and if you're being sexually inappropriate and shit, don't fucking do that.
Yeah,
and if
you
call you
deserve
out on
all
it,
that he coming at you.
Exactly.
Yeah. If they're gonna call you out on it, sometimes the best thing to do is just put your head down, apologize, and try to not stir the hornet's nest. Because think about it this way: Has he done anything at all that justifies putting him into an actual crime investigation? Has he
Like-
committed any actual crimes?
Like, that's the thing. Like, the only reason why these folks can't do anything in
It's
terms
because he
of
hasn't done anything to merit it.
no, it's because statute of limitations, man.
Well, there's
it's
that too,
because
like,
it takes
shit,
too
man.
long, and like
Talk
people
sooner.
trying to talk sooner. That's really tough because you have to find people who are willing enough to believe you to take the case, and you have to go to the police and have them actually open a
More
criminal
importantly,
report
though,
on it. It's like
more importantly, in
you-
this place where technology amounts to the point where you can get pictures and video of everybody in the world, you cannot get me to believe that somebody gets away with doing this for like a whole decade and there's not a single shred of solid evidence.
Pretty much.
At all.
Also, guys,
Like,
if you
come
don't,
on, nobody's that good, okay?
no,
guys,
as
if you
in
don't
like
mi-
Even
yeah.
Al Capone got busted for not paying his taxes.
if you guys don't mind if I interject here,
Sure.
yeah, because I haven't
okay,
said much.
You got a different thing. Though.
Yeah, no, and I agree with both of you guys. And in this whole situation,
Clearly, we have different opinions, but thanks for agreeing with us both.
yeah, well,
Fucker.
that's why we get along, right?
it's called
Different
the
opinions.
duality of man.
Anyways, you have to admit, in this whole situation, how Vic is handling this situation, and this is just me reaching. That does tell me that maybe Vic is not as innocent as we all think, and
We know he.
we
ain't.
know he isn't, and the way he's handling it is just
Is making
adding
it worse.
more. Yeah, it's making it worse.
That's basically throwing gas on it. Like, on one hand, he's not as innocent as we think. On the other hand, he's based on the information I got, he's not as guilty as everybody's screaming about.
Like,
But
the
it
thing
feels
is
like
that-
the way he handled this was extremely mal-handled. Like, he fumbled this harder than that fumble that happened in that football game you showed me.
yeah.
Oh wait, which football game was that?
The dude had a white uniform on. That's what I remember.
I don't remember.
He fumbled that harder than that scene in Remember the Titans.
Oh Lord.
You know that one?
Yeah, that
Point
one.
in case is, instead of, as we said, keeping his head down and trying to worry about proving himself innocent, he tried to prove everyone else guilty, and the whole thing has fallen flat on his
What the
ass.
fuck
I think
is
there
this?
was. I think there was a saying I heard. It's best to just keep your mouth shut and let people think you're stupid instead of opening and proving them right.
That's Abraham Lincoln.
Or was it
would be
Aristotle?
no, Abraham Lincoln. It would be best to keep one's mouth shut and be considered a fool than open it and remove
Remove all doubt. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's removed all doubt, and right now he's quite a fool. Because at the end of the day, okay, let's assume that this whole thing comes to an end. By the way, this whole thing hasn't come to an end. We're still worrying our way to the actual
Yeah.
original case. Let's say that we go for the closest positive scenario and we find out that no, he's not guilty. The worst thing he's guilty of is putting his hands where he shouldn't, in which case all he needs to do is not do that anymore.
But apparently
Please
he
don't do
doesn't
that
think he can.
anymore.
Apparently this is something that he can't fucking do because he can't keep his fucking hands to himself. Like seriously, at this point, why belabor the point with him? Like, if he's this concerned about it, why doesn't he do it? But apparently he can't keep it in control
Only
because he
now the
thinks he can get away with
accusations
fucking murder.
So this brings me to
Let's
question.
not compare this to murder, please. That's what.
No,
that's where we start jumping into really
I'm
bad places.
saying that as an analogy.
As an
Like,
analogy,
he
yeah.
feels impervious to
Damage.
repercussions. But the
falling
thing
of
is
famous
now,
people.
but the thing of it now is that he brought that stupid defamation case to try and countersue them, and he lost every single count of the case.
Yep.
Fucking
Because he didn't even show up.
no, not
are
only
you
did
doing,
no,
man?
not only did he not show up, but his lawyer fumbled everything. And at the point
Like, wow.
of the actual first court hearing, the judge literally said, "Okay, I'm throwing out all these accusations except for these last 11, and I'm encouraging Vic Mignogna's idiot lawyer and the lawyer for Monica Rial and the other folks who are being accused. I'm encouraging you guys to get together and come to a settlement. You're gonna come back here in a couple weeks, and you're gonna get a determination." They come back, and he doesn't want.
He doesn't.
No, the idiot lawyer doesn't do a settlement.
Like,
No,
dude,
how dare you?
We can
dude,
settle this right now. Don't drag it out. No, I'm gonna drag it out.
Yeah.
how dare you? I'm the best, and my lawyer,
Oh
who's
my
apparently an
God.
ambulance
Bro, stop
chaser,
doing that,
he
please.
needs
Juan,
to take
Juan,
this.
Juan,
I am
stop.
greatest.
Juan,
my fans love
Juan.
me.
We're trying to be objective. here, please.
$200,000.
Juan, this is not a movie review. We're trying to be objective.
Relax.
Come on, man.
Okay, no, but you gotta imagine,
No,
what
yes,
kind of idiot mind does that?
The
He's
mind of somebody who clearly doesn't know what he's doing.
no someone who doesn't know
That
how to
dude is-
quit while he's
that was the-
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I have a question.
The ship is sinking. Stop poking holes into the hull, please.
Juan, Angel. I
But
actually
I'm
have
the best.
Juan, guys. I actually have a question that I want to ask.
What?
Now, in light of all this situation, and I want to draw some different opinions from you guys, and this is all hypothetical. At this point in time, what would be the best course of action for Vic to do?
Shut up. Go away for about a year. Don't do anything with anybody else. And if people are actually willing to give him work again, then they'll do it. Let them deal with the repercussions. As far as he's concerned, he's already burned any goodwill in the anime community. He's burned any goodwill in terms of guests. He's burned goodwill with his colleagues, and other voice actors. His fans are going to be diehards for him no matter what, because people like
Because
to
that's how people are.
hashtag I stand with Vic.
That's how
Okay,
people are.
but like you want to be tribalist. You want to.
All right. Nice job.
Safe.
8 out of 10.
Whoa.
A child just did the sickest rock star slide that I ever seen in my life.
That was awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
But
No.
anyways,
He's got George Steinbrenner. Better watch out. They better catch this kid.
All right, reeling back in, Juan. You
So
were
you were
finishing.
saying-
But yeah, no. But at the end of the day, if he wants to survive any of this and not deal with it any further, then what he needs to do is take himself out of public spotlight. He needs to take himself and remove himself from the element. And folks are going to continue standing by their by their statement and their truth of the accusations on him, and we're not ever going to diminish that, because if they experience that, and that's bullshit that they had to go through it, and they have the right to speak their piece.
All right.
And his choice is to either like let them speak and him just like try to deal with it behind closed doors like a gentleman, like a man, like a professional, or he can once again take his automail foot, stick it up in his mouth, and try to sue them again and see how well that works a second time.
All right,
I
Angel,
wholeheartedly
go right
agree
ahead.
with Juan on this one. Like 100%, he is correct. Right now, Vic is in this precarious position where A, nothing has been proven to make him guilty, but B, he's personally done enough stuff that people are not willing to believe him anymore because of that bullshit. So as Juan said, he's right. He needs to keep his head down, step away from the industry for a while, because let's be honest, the spotlight makes monsters of us all. Though, if I must say, though, I must admit one aspect that I don't like about all this is the fact that the moment the accusations came out, that was enough for him to essentially lose his job. Nobody bothered to actually wait to prove him right or wrong. They immediately fire him. They try to replace him the second it happened. And I understand why they do it, because companies are obsessed with their reputation. But that is an aspect that I genuinely am sickened by. Okay, assuming that he's found guilty, good choice. But assuming that he's not guilty, we live in a world where you can lose your job just because somebody accuses you or something. No proof. Just enough accusation. Feelings are enough to defy all fact, apparently. But that's not what I'm here for.
I have a
I agree with Juan. He needs to keep his head down, step outside of this, and worry about proving himself innocent besides proving anyone else guilty, because congratulations. Even if you succeed, now you're that asshole that tried to prove everyone else guilty just to make yourself look good. You effed up.
There's one analogy that I want to draw with you here, just to bring things into perspective. You could get a load of this. I don't know if you remember this little element from this tiny movie that came out in 2000. What was it? 7. It was made by this nobody at Warner Brothers Studios named Christopher Nolan. It's called The Dark Knight. Maybe you heard of this?
Yeah.
Okay,
I may have heard about it.
There's one element of this that people overlook.
What's that?
The Chinese guy, Lau, he was basically a money launderer for the Gotham mobsters. Yes. And when they found out, like when Batman and Commissioner Gordon are trying to pin down the banks, Lau leaves the country. He goes back to Hong Kong, and Batman's trying to find out, like trying to get him to be brought back to Gotham so they can lock him up and pin the mob or whatever. He takes Morgan Freeman's character, Lucius Fox, and sends him to Hong Kong because Bruce Wayne was trying to do business deals with him, but in reality, he was using that as an opportunity to look into their criminal, like, financial records.
Their records, yeah.
And what did when he showed up in when he showed up in Hong Kong and spoke with Lau? There's like I'm sorry for leaving in the middle of our negotiations. This misunderstanding with the Gotham police force. I couldn't let such a thing ruin my business's reputation.
I'm sure if you're a business
man of your stature would understand. And Morgan Freeman's response is, "Well, the reason I'm here is because we have to put our business dealing on hold.
We can't be seen doing business with
whatever it is you're accused of being. I'm sure a businessman of your stature will understand." Like, even in fiction, if you're accused of any sort of criminal activity and anyone else is doing business with you, the smartest thing to do in order to keep their business is to distance from themselves. And I know you don't like that because because it should be innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
When there's an accusation and it's brought out in public, you don't want to deal with that because otherwise you're being seen as dealing with a potential criminal.
I gotcha.
Whereas
I understand it.
the way
I don't have to like it.
Where the ways it worked with Vic Mignogna is, if this was the first time that he was ever accused of anything inappropriate, I can lean a little more towards your favor here, Angel. But this had been going on for years with other people as well, making the same accusations, completely separate. They're not trying to get money out of him.
Of course
they're saying like, this guy is an asshole and he's being inappropriate with me.
Yeah.
If this was about money, there would have been a settlement.
The question is, if they've been going out for so long, why did it suddenly turn into a problem with his career now?
not everyone had camera phones growing up over the years. I know it doesn't feel like that way now because we were talking about how MySpace.
It's a weird time.
It feels like so distant. But the point is that like not everyone keeps a camera on them these days. Like back then.
I just figured that if it's something going for so damn long, somebody will have something, anything at all. And then even now, they still have nothing.
It's tough to catch someone in the act in something like that. You know,
what I mean? Especially when the act barely happens.
I actually have a question that I do want to ask before I give my opinion on this whole thing. I actually want to draw a reference to something that happened last year. Juan will know this.
2018.
Yep. It's a former wrestler, Enzo Amore. He got caught with accusations of sexual harassment and the WWE, and he was fired not because whether the accusations were true or not, but because he didn't inform WWE earlier so that they could take care of it and handle it. Now, like in this scenario, had Vic Mignogna had informed anyone earlier about this, do you think it would have helped him a little bit in this case?
That's
like, hey, I'm being accused of something, guys. Do you think you can work with me, or do we have to take a break or whatever?
That's a weird thing that happened because if I recall, the accusations came shortly after the Super Dragon Ball movie, and then I don't know what was the period of time between the accusations and the actual like him getting removed from the thing.
Okay.
Was that like how long it was? Because they moved fast.
It was a span about 2 or 3 weeks, which is actually slow in comparison.
Should have done something. Then yeah, he should have really said something about that matter. Then again, maybe he thought nobody was going to do anything.
He's like, what's the worst they could do? Tell the public I'm the greatest. No one will ever stand against me.
Now, now getting back to my personal opinion, like I personally would have informed Funimation or anybody else who I'm contracted with about what's going on, so that way they can be proactive and take the best course of action.
That I have to agree with.
Now, as far as what he should be doing, I agree with the both of you. He needs to take time to step out of the spotlight because it takes a lot of strength and a lot of self-recognition to look at yourself in the mirror and actually, realize, hey, well, I may have fucked up. Maybe I did. Maybe I was a screw up. Maybe there is something wrong with me, and actually do something about it.
No, that's not what he's trying to say. He's trying to insist this never happened. This is all fake. What he ought to be saying is, this is clearly not going away anytime soon. I should step back for my reputation's sake, for my business's sake.
Just let it rest.
I should step away, let it try to fade off, and I'll deal with this behind closed doors.
I know. I'm just saying,
like that,
let people forgive and forget because he hasn't done anything irredeemable yet.
What I'm trying to say is, whether any of this is true or not, the fact still remains. He needs time to reevaluate himself.
Yeah, he needs to step away from the spotlight and just, like I said, work. Are you really innocent? Concentrate on proving yourself innocent. That's all there is. That's all you have to do.
Otherwise,
because when you're proven innocent, automatically everybody else who accused you is essentially wrong.
And if he
there is any innocence,
and if he doesn't do anything about it, those fans that he still has left, they're gonna drop.
Yeah.
Unless they're psychotic diehards.
Dude, everybody has psychotic diehards. You on Star Wars.
I don't.
You on Star Wars.
Okay, I love Star Wars forever.
You are the most psychotic diehard fan of Star Wars and Star Trek I ever met in my life.
Okay, there are worse people than me when it comes to Star Wars and Star Trek.
You're still there.
But that's my take on it. I really hope that there is some common sense left in Vic Mignogna to consider laying low for a period of time.
Yeah, like that is,
yes,
that
please,
is the smartest thing you can do. Lay it down, let the storm pass by, take a good look at yourself, and realize that, hey, maybe putting my hands on everything that moves might not be the smartest thing.
Exactly.
And then just come back later. Get yourself another role. Do like the Tony Stark thing. Like Robert Downey Jr. went to jail, got himself cleaned up, came back.
Yeah, but the thing is, Vic Mignogna doesn't want to go to jail.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about going to jail.
He should go to jail.
Dude.
No, that's like crash course. He could learn to make coffee out of a sock, just like Robert Downey Jr. did.
Just like I did.
Yeah, exactly.
Point in case. Okay, let's not go there yet, because Robert got caught
Vic
with
Mignogna should go to jail.
Hashtag Big needs to go to jail. No.
All right.
What I'm saying is, essentially, take some time.
Let's see people take that out of context.
Look at your... Oh, please. Like, we have any context here to begin with. So, I agree with Juan on this one. Step away. Take some time for yourself. Reflect on what you've done. Consider whether maybe your actions may affect other people, and then come back, get an impressive role in some voice acting thing and blow everybody away, and make some fancy speech about hugging the cactus or something.
Exactly.
He needs to hug the cactus.
The one thing about hugging the cactus also comes with self-reflection and admission.
Hug the cactus.
No. The key part is admission. He has to actually concede to the fact that he did something wrong, and he has to recognize that. He's still not at that point yet. That's his problem.
One, that's up to him.
Yeah. So it's up to him whether or not he wants to get to that stage or not. But the problem is one of the first steps is admitting that he made a mistake, and he's not even up to that.
Juan.
He went to court in order to overtly say he's not up to that point, and he's losing money over it like an idiot.
Juan, we get what you're saying, but at the end, again, it's up to him. He's a grown-ass adult.
So he'll deal with it in his own time.
He'll deal with it in his own time, and if he doesn't, then he will deal with the consequences to his actions.
He should go to jail.
Time will tell.
Vic should go to jail.
Bro, if people go to jail for touching other people without wanting to, I would be like for the rest of my life. You will not see me. I'd be in the gulag right now.
I'm talking about going to jail for him to develop character. I'm sure.
Oh my god.
Learn his lesson like Robert Downey Jr. did.
Go to jail, come back, become a super famous voice actor again, and then make other people super famous, and then start a Funimation 22-year movie project.
See, it's not that hard. If Robert Downey Jr. can do it, then so can you.
It's a bit on the copyright side, but I can already predict it right now. An adaptation of Full Metal Jacket with Vic Mignogna in a straitjacket in jail.
Sure, why not?
Full Metal That's not how that works. That's
That's
about
a different adaptation.
Like that has nothing to do with anything.
And
So,
copyright.
road in case, though, we can all agree that at this point, the smartest thing the man can do is step back. Because
Step
right now,
away,
it's all to a matter of proving whether he's guilty or innocent. It's not a matter of you put your foot in your mouth at the speed of sound. You're going to carefully extract your boot out of your esophagus, step away from the spotlight, apologize to who you have to apologize, and wait.
Yep.
Okay? You're a well-known, good-looking name in the industry. You can find a job elsewhere.
Right.
Don't screw it up now because he's teetering on the brink. Right now, it all boils down to one thing. Do we prove him innocent or do we prove him guilty? Because that is what determines what happens here. If he did the things, guess what, buddy? You have a lot of apologies to do and you have to get the hell out of here.
Exactly.
If you didn't do the thing, congratulations. The world proved you right. You can come back in the spotlight. But right now, don't point your finger at the other side when the other side has nukes.
Like he literally went no you, and they went in with a freaking halberd cannon.
No, see, they knew counter-parry. they knew how to parry.
All right. I think we've talked a little bit enough about Vic here. So
actually, I want Angel to lead in on another news event that's a little bit more screwed up. It involves the video game industry, and Angel's going to fill us in on this. Go ahead and do that.
Flexing.
I'm going to get us a couple cups of
flexing
water
right now.
We
Give me
had
2 seconds.
we had enough gray morality with this whole big bullshit.
Yep.
It's time for some good old-fashioned black and white. In fact, I'm going to wait until Juan gets back from drinking water. So, Joe, how are you enjoying the con so far?
I'm enjoying the con so far, so good. I mean, I like it. It's a brand new con. Obviously, you know, there's still a bit of room for improvement, but not bad for a first year. So.
Plenty spacious, a little too much space if you ask me. But overall, I like it. The people I met have been fantastically nice.
I mean, it can't be helped. It's a giant resort.
It is pretty big, I won't lie. We spend more time walking than looking at stuff here.
Right? But no, it's a good con. I like it. It's a good first year. I hope it prospers to another year.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll give it a review nicer later. Now, here's the thing. We met some very interesting people when we were running to the call, and I hope you guys tune in for our interview next time. We're going to be speaking with some very, very interesting characters.
Absolutely.
You guys are going to love this stuff. We got some names that I can't say right now because of spoilers.
Of course.
But I hope you guys do enjoy this. They were very nice to us. And we met some very courageous dogs, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, hang on a minute. Juan's coming
Juan
back,
is
and
back,
he's
so we'll
bringing
actually talk about
complimentary water for the Ravens
Thank
flock.
you.
Oh, man, Juan, I tell you, I say a lot of good things about you. I don't care what people say about you, you know.
No, you don't. You talk crap about me all the time.
We talk crap in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, let's say that.
All right, so let's talk some business, people.
The good crap.
Let's talk some good old-fashioned black and white shit going on here.
Yeah,
We
go
could,
for it.
you can swear. Remember, we're uncensored. Black and white shit.
I know, but it's a force of habit now. I need to be wholesome for the little children.
Yeah,
You
you're
piece of
right.
shit.
There are a lot of kids running around, and that,
Exactly.
and
Think
yeah,
of
I
children, you fuckhead. Jesus.
Oh my lord!
All right, so what's up, Angel?
Real-
What's the
While
scoop?
Angel's doing that, Joe, can you lock the tripod over there?
It is
Thanks,
time
I can't
for
reach.
some good old-fashioned reports because I got my hands on pretty much as much information as I could on this matter. This has been going on for like a week, and it has been fantastic. A million other YouTubers more popular than me have covered it, but now it's my time to jump in this motherfucker. So, Blizzard.
Ha!
You may
The
know
end.
Blizzard. Well, yeah, there's that too. But
Ha.
Okay, so
Also
Blizzard,
ha.
developers of Diablo, World of Warcraft, game Overwatch,
StarCraft.
many other games, has faced a severe amount of backlash since they removed pro player Blitzchung, NGY. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. NY maybe? From the Hearthstone
Nine.
tournament and future events. His ban came 2 days after he showed support for the Hong Kong protests in the post-game interview on October the 6th.
He's
This
gotta
happened
take a
less than
leak.
a week ago this happened. The company has ever since walked back the length of its banning, which was originally 12 months. Of course, in response to the ban, gamers began boycotting the developer. On Wednesday, #BoycottBlizzard started trending on Twitter, and the company's action has been called out by 2 U.S. senators.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Which U.S. senators is that?
I don't know the names, but we got government getting involved in this crap.
Well, that's because this is involving another government, a very well-orientated government, a very powerful government, the second largest economy on the planet.
We're talking about China, people.
This is China.
It's Chinese.
It's
Chinese are screwing everything up again.
It's China.
We got
Everyone hates
war.
China for some reason.
Grab your guns. We're going to war again. This is how it starts. So Blizzard is not, in fact, the only business that got tangled in this mess. We got accusations from Apple, Google, and the NBA, who have found themselves in a bit of a quagmire between Hong Kong and China. So now, a bit of context. What is this whole thing about? In June, there has been some mass protesting in Hong Kong over a
What article are you getting this information from, by the way?
The internet.
Yeah, but there's like
internet.
I know it's from
CNET.
the internet, but...
They know their stuff.
Oh, CNET?
They got some information. They got facts for me.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so for folks who
here's
want
the
to
deal.
get the paraphrasing...
China has been trying to pass a law on Hong Kong, a very controversially proposed law that now has been suspended, that would allow for the extradition of residents of 2 countries around the world, including China, and people are righteously afraid of the fact that the Chinese government now would have the power to apprehend anybody in Hong Kong and send them to the mainland to subject them to their punishments.
So
China.
basically, if you live in Hong Kong and if China thinks you're committing a crime, they will take you straight out of Hong Kong. They will fly you back into China.
They're
and
going to the Chinese gulag.
Yeah, no, like, say what you want about them building economic centers and, oh, China is so progressive now. They have trains that are super maglev. Yeah, but they also have non-existent farmlands and people are starving.
Yeah.
Sure, let's say that.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
No, what's left of the rice fields, right?
So, predictably, the protesters in Hong Kong have taken to the streets, as well as the Hong Kong International Airport, and the demonstrations have grown to include demands for democracy, of all things.
Like, can we just have a little, like, free speech? What?
No. How dare you? I'm not exaggerating, though. This has resulted in several clashes within the law enforcement, including one incident when a teenager got shot in the chest by the police on October the 1st. So,
Jesus
following
Christ.
his win during the Asia-Pacific Grandmasters broadcast in October the 6th, the gas mask-wearing pro-gamer Blitzchung screamed the phrase of "Liberate Hong Kong, revolution of our age," while wearing a gas mask. On October 8th,
like you got to remember, this is for, what was it, for a live stream charity, was it?
It was a live stream tournament.
It was a tournament. So, and what game was it for?
It was Hearthstone. It was that card game that everybody's
Hearthstone.
playing nowadays.
Hearthstone of all things, like freaking, like I just know it as like a cheap little like video card game thing, and like
it is.
Why?
Because it's fun.
No, I mean, like, why are people throwing a fit over that? Well, because there's a tournament, and they're like, why not? They're trying to secure. They're trying to secure some free speech, some liberty over there. Because freaking Hong Kong, for the longest time, it wasn't until like the 90s that Hong Kong was actually under British control. Do I remember that correctly?
Right.
And then Britain's like, okay, we're out of here, mates. You guys go on your
We don't
own.
need all this crap.
You don't need all this Asian crap over here. We're just going to drop off. But
Their
like,
teeth look better than ours. We can't have that.
we cannot have that. It's quite incorrigible. No, but like after that, Hong Kong has sort of been running on its own independent state, but China is still trying to assert its sovereignty over it, like saying,
China
no,
wants that Hong Kong down.
like, no, you're part of our country. Like, but how about we're not?
How about no?
How about we do anyway?
So, of course, on October 8th, Blizzard said that he violated the competition's official rules, resulting in his removal from the Grandmasters tournament, a 12-month ban, and the reduction of his prize to 0. While we stand by one's right to express individual thoughts and opinions, the statement continued.
Oh no! Is
Players-
this the fucking
This is
sterile
the
statement?
Players and other participants that elect to participate in our sports competition must abide by the official competition rules. The statement, however, appears to be different from the official statement from the company made on Chinese social media platform Weibo on October 8th.
Oh, so they put out two separate press
yes.
statements, huh?
Multiple translations of the Chinese statement show a harsher tone from the company. Here's ING's translation. IGN's translation. We express our strong indignation or resentment and condemnation of the events that occurred in the Hearthstone Asia-Pacific competition last weekend and absolutely oppose the dissemination of personal political ideals during the events or games.
What?
The players involved will be banned and the commentators involved will be immediately terminated from any official business.
Oh my God, that is some double-speak bullshit.
But wait, also we will protect or safeguard
that's disgusting, man.
We will protect or safeguard our national dignity or honor.
Our national... No, no, you don't get to keep no honor when you're trying to pull this Orwellian bullcrap. I'm sorry. I know that you guys have your own cult...
1984 was supposed to be a warning tale, not an instruction manual.
Exactly.
But I think somebody missed it at some point.
No, I know that people are going to say, oh, well, that's a different culture. America doesn't rule the world. No, you're right. We don't rule the world.
We kind of should based on what's happening.
Actually, no. Like right
we
now,
should.
The right now we have the worst type of leadership. We really can't.
But everybody else is so much worse. Look at this crap.
Like as in like
we have an idiot in office dressed like a Cheeto with a suit, and look at what the other side is doing.
Yeah, no.
The rest of the world has no right to complain about us anymore because they're doing this crap.
No, they complain. Oh, hello. No, they got every room to. I'm sorry. No, I got distracted. There's a very, very, very attractive lady who walked by, and
Excuse you. Am I going to have to levy an accusation against you? We're going to the court of public opinion now, motherfucker. How dare you have feelings? How dare you have a working libido? What's wrong with you? China's taking you to the gulag.
Didn't I just leave this conversation?
Yes, he did.
Juan is going to China.
I'm going to China. Apparently, I'm going to a Chinese gulag for
how dare you find someone beautiful?
For smiling at a very attractive redhead who walked past us.
How dare you piece of crap!
Next thing you know, we're going to see Juan.
Disgust me.
Next thing you know, we're going to see Juan on Pirate TV competing in Bloodsport.
You want to know what? And for the record, if my wife, K-Storm, were right here next to me, she would have been right there, like hello.
Yeah, that's
along
why she's
with
not
me.
here. We don't want her stealing all the attention.
Good point. She'd
She's
steal the show. No, okay, but like, okay, as far as
Can
this,
you believe this bullshit I just read you?
as far as this whole situation goes, is like, okay, we have no room to talk about how other nations should be running themselves because we got fucking idiots running the White House. But the issue is, like, this is objectively wrong, not only on a moral standpoint, but as far as Blizzard goes, they're being fucking assholes. They're talking out of both sides of their ass. Like, oh no, we're going to, like, this person was very bad, and we're just gonna go ahead and ban them for 12 months, and that's it. But when they talk to China, how dare they? They slammed the desk and they're like, they destroyed, and we'll break them.
The tree of liberty with the blood of traitors.
So
rather
than resolving,
it's such bullshit.
Rather than resolving their issues and basically fixing their leaks on their pipes, they're basically punishing us.
Ironically enough, because they went so far over the top of
I'm trying to figure it out because I was in the bathroom.
You were in the fucking bathroom while we were discussing all this. Blizzard was talking out both sides of their ass when a player in Hong Kong during a charity tournament was actually made a political statement to have independence for the state of for the city of Hong Kong, and not only was he banned from the tournament and his prize money was removed, but Blizzard
got banned too somehow.
Yeah, no,
even though they had nothing to do with it.
Nothing at all. And fucking Blizzard decided to put out one sort of nice regular corporate statement as their response for everyone else in the world, and for anyone in China, for their Chinese investors, they say, like, how dare they? This person shall be punished to the full extent, and they shall destroy the communist. Like, it was such horseshit.
Let me narrow it down. Let's say that you do something to offend Juan, and I'm working with Juan.
Yeah. How dare you breathe?
If I talk to you, I'd be like, hey man, that was not cool. You don't have to do that. And then I go to Juan and go, I got the snipers ready.
Pretty much, as best
we are aiming at his family. We need him to live to feel it.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm his family.
I know.
Crap. Nice going.
So
great. All right. So any of you out there listening, if you have video games from Blizzard, I suggest you trade them up and get your money back.
It gets better.
It gets worse. No.
It gets hilarious. After days of silence, Blizzard President J. Allen Brack released a statement in October 11 regarding Blitzchung. He says China had no influence in our decision.
Bull.
So in a case of hilarious, back it up real hard. Blitzchung's ban has been reduced to 6 months, and he will receive his winnings from the recent tournament. The casters who conducted the post-game interview will also have a similar 6 months ban instead of being deleted permanently. In an interview with IGN on October the 10th, Blitzchung said that he knew his statement would have consequences. I expected that decision by Blizzard, he said. I think it's unfair, but I do respect the decision. I am not regretful of anything I have said.
Like this guy went out of his way, and he's basically said, I am willing and ready to prepare for the consequences. And he did that knowingly. He paid it gladly.
He paid the price, and then he still got his money back. Talk about sweet and sour grapes. Damn.
Okay, you know what? Like, that's boss. I like, hey, if you want to go ahead and take the money, go ahead.
Good on you, my man.
But he earned that, and that was his tournament prize money. But, like, as far as this goes, I understand that rules are rules when it comes to tournaments, especially when it comes to something like that where it's being broadcast internationally. But the way that Blizzard was handling this shit was ridiculous as hell. And not only is that, but when, like you said, Jose, like Jose was over here saying, oh, well, if you've got Blizzard games, go ahead and delete them, get your refunds. People were trying to go ahead and delete their Blizzard online accounts. And what were they doing in response? What was Blizzard doing?
All of a sudden, and suspiciously, there were a bunch of different features in place to stop you from deleting your account. Like
Blizzard
you
was
had
actually
to go through like 7 steps just to do one thing.
They're trying to lock them in.
No, Blizzard was trying to keep people from deleting their accounts. Like, oh no, you're not allowed to leave because we don't like someone not liking us. How dare you?
It's supposed to be like a PR specialist going, this is the smartest thing we can do right now, followed by pulling out a flamethrower and setting the building on fire.
You know what's going on in my head, guys?
Smartest
I think Juan will remember this. It was a spot in The Simpsons where Mr. Burns was showing Homer or whatever. There was like an entire room full of monkeys on computers.
Yes,
it was on typewriters.
On typewriters,
like
100
that's
monkeys on 100 typewriters. They are writing the greatest script of all time.
He pulls a page. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. Crumbles the paper and throws it back at the monkey, who's a chain-smoking wreck.
That's
what does
Blizzard.
that have to do with anything?
That's how I picture Blizzard.
Blizzard is the room full of monkeys?
It used to be that. Now it's the dog sitting in front of the house on fire going, this is fine. Now, following the announcement, a lot of people began expressing their disappointment on Rial Twitter, causing #BoycottBlizzard to trend.
Boycott Blizzard.
Boycott Blizzard. Others canceled their subscriptions to World of Warcraft, including former Blizzard developer Mark Kern himself. Some also began deleting their Battle.net accounts, which is Blizzard's gaming platform. Hearthstone, the competitive card game central to the controversy, has been reviewed bombed to shit. Numerous negative reviews saying free Hong Kong appeared in the days after the Apple App Store.
As in, people are actually going into the App Store and online and hitting like half-star reviews, like this is worse, this is horrible, Blizzard's the best, blah blah blah. Blizzard's terrible, die Blizzard, die, blah blah blah.
And of course, continuing on, the Google Play Store continues to remove the negative reviews. There are currently 3 reviews dated October 11, giving the game 1 star and referencing the controversy. A screenshot from October 9 shows way more that were dated all the way to October 8 that are suddenly no longer there.
I wonder why.
Another step is a bunch of people are taking Mei, the Chinese character from Blizzard's popular game Overwatch, and turning her into a symbol of the Hong Kong protests.
Can you believe that shit? Oh my god. Okay. I know that we don't try to call people out or whatever, but I actually want to ask our good friend Lala Lori, who has also done cosplay of Mei in Overwatch.
How do you feel about this whole thing?
I would actually ask her if she could do the Liberate Hong Kong version. I don't know, because
she will get banned from all the cons when they find out.
Oh no, she ain't. She's got to be a friggin' hero.
You don't understand, but
Lori, we love you, sweetheart, babe. I'll see you at Lumi for the love of God.
Yeah.
If you could do Hong Kong Mei.
Hong Kong Mei.
Oh my God, that would be so hot, and it'd be adorable as well. Because, Lori, she's the cutest muffin on the face of the planet.
I haven't seen her in a while. It's been some time.
Well,
but I do hope she's doing well.
You might see her in LumiCon if we decide.
Yeah.
In the wake of the Backlash, a website has come out called Gamers for Freedom. The group states that it is outrageous to think that an American company could take away your money and your job simply because you want to be free from oppression. On the site is a petition calling for all video game developers and publishers to make a public commitment to support the right of free speech for all the consumers, employers, and fans around the world. The page also has a list of companies that have yet to show support for freedom of contribution since the whole thing began. Yeah. And gamers are not the only ones upset over this. On October 8th, employees from Blizzard began covering up the company signs that have the slogans "Think globally" and "Every voice matters." Jeez. They're actually covering that shit because they're like, no. We're not working with you anymore.
All right.
Oh, boy.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Double toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cold.
I actually want to get on a hypothetical track when it comes to Blizzard. In light of everything that's happened, if you guys were in charge of Blizzard for damage control purposes, how would you have handled this to save face?
Angel microphone.
I want to go for the easiest part. The kid gets his money, he gets banned for a couple of months, and gets told not to do it again. Because the contract did state, don't be saying political shit on this kind of thing. Yeah. Well, it basically says some really vague way of saying, don't say what we don't want you to say. But the way they reacted to this was the most explosive, over-the-top garbage they could.
Oh, shit. Something wicked this way comes. We got the Wicked Witch of the West, and I think we've got...
the Headless Horseman.
No, which zombie is that? Oh, my God.
Headless Horseman.
No, that's not the Headless Horseman.
It's Christopher Walken.
No, it's from... what's his face? From Hocus Pocus.
Looking good.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Stitch face.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Anyways,
but no, you're right, Angel.
Wait, we're not done. It's time for politics now.
Of course, it's because this is all China's subverting shit.
We have gotten so bad that now the government is interfering in this kind of thought. And think about that for a second. A few decades ago, Nobody wanted demand to get in our business. Guess what? Now we need demand to get in our business. Politicians are spoken about this. Zen Ron Wyden, a Democrat from Oregon, tweeted on October 8 saying, no American company should censor calls for freedom to make a quick buck. Said Marco Rubio, a Republican from Florida, also tweeted about the situation and China's influence in U.S. companies.
Okay, I got to tell you right now, Marco Rubio is a senator from our state here. He's a fucking idiot.
Well, guess what? Even that idiot is saying that this is wrong.
Okay,
Think about that.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
The clock is right this time.
No, a broken clock can be right twice a day.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna support anything Marco Rubio fucking says.
It doesn't change the fact that he's saying the right thing. The Chinese video games market is worth $36.5 million, second only to the U.S. to the 2019. Asia is 12% of Activision revenues, and the amount just keeps increasing. So right now we gotta stay where no matter where you go, Blizzard is kind of against the wall. If they side with the company of China, they basically prove that they're the pieces of shit that they are. If they side with us,
then
they
lose out.
They lose corporates. But we know exactly where they're going to go. They're going to go with money. So now comes the question: what do you guys think about this whole debacle?
All right, money or morality, Jose? What do you think?
Morality, obviously.
Yeah,
come on. Money should not be a concern. Money gets printed every day.
But here's the thing: they're a company, and their number one goal is to make money for their investors.
Lots of money.
They could care less about what we could say or what folks are saying about them opinion wise, as long as they're able to capitalize it on it and make money off of it. That's their fucking problem. That's
but if there's no
it's
moral
bullshit,
Juan, but if there's no moral, if there's no integrity to anything these guys do, they're gonna lose. Their credibility.
Yeah, credibility. Yeah, but money. They still got that China money, and they want that, and they're gonna keep that, and it's horseshit. But you know what? As far as we're concerned, we actually want to know what you folks think. We're gonna put this up on YouTube. I want Jose to also set up another poll, if that's okay, Joe.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we'll link the Black Files episode to the poll as well, so that way they can listen in on this, and so we can get your opinion on this, folks, because we want to know what the audience, what the folks listening to the Ravens Flock, and the folks who are interested in this terrible quagmire controversy, what you gotta say. I'm pretty sure it's pretty straightforward, but there's going to be some folks who are going to argue about, capitalism doesn't care about your feelings and shit. But I'm like, okay, then why care about anything at all?
If you don't care about what your customer is buying, you're going to eventually give us a subpar product. That's how it works.
Exactly. Yeah,
capitalism it's an easily exploitable system, but it's supposed to be a really good system. It works when people make it work. And right now, they're not making it work because, in case they forgot, they're an American company, dude. I don't care how big China is. We are the ones that are here.
You're right.
And ultimately, they don't have a choice because, of course, the media is not going to go this way. Also, Google removed the game from the store that lets you play as a Hong Kong protester because, of course.
Right.
Of course.
So right now, we're basically stuck in a political quagmire of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And the way they reacted, ironically enough, not only makes them look like idiots, it also made Mr. Blitzchung's message explode even outwards. So thank you, Blizzard, for doing your job and promoting knowledge of the idea that Hong Kong needs to be free.
And also, thank you, Barbara Streisand.
Yeah,
right?
that too.
I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for now, guys. Last words, Jose, on Vic Mignogna and on Blizzard.
Well, I think I've already said everything I needed to say. At this point, it would just be regurgitation. But just to recap about Vic, he needs to step away from the spotlight. He needs time to reevaluate himself. He needs time to rehabilitate. He needs time to come back as someone different. And as for Blizzard, I'm sorry. In my personal opinion, morality over money. Okay, otherwise they're going to lose. Otherwise they're going to lose their credibility and they're going to lose their fans.
All right, Angel.
I pretty much wholeheartedly agree. Vic, step down, take a break, relax. Just let the world prove you're right or wrong. Just accept what comes. And Blizzard, they're already losing fans as it is, man. They're like that company already effed up as it is, and they're going to keep doing it. I guarantee you, this is going to turn into some sort of lukewarm, shitty apology. They already gave him his money back, but they still kept the ban, mind you. And they only did that because the backlash was so big. The second that they think they can get away with it again, they're going to do it.
They'll hit him harder again because they think if no one's looking.
No, not even that. They're going to go back and making business with China again. As long as people don't notice, you can censor whatever you want.
All right. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm the same way. Vic, step the hell down. Deal with this like a man. Deal with this professionally. If you can't, just step away. And since the ladies who have been accusing him, if they've got the truth behind them, then accept that and take whatever consequence comes your way. And Blizzard, what the fuck? What's your problem, man? No, for real, man. I'm not even that big a gamer, but what the fuck, Blizzard? like I say, and Angel agree, morality over money. We're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Thank you very much for listening in to this special episode of the Black Files, filmed on location at Phantasm Orlando. We had some folks in costumes pass by. They said hi. There was a kid who slid into home base. They're okay. And we're going to go ahead and leave you guys to it. Thank you very much for listening in. And in the meantime, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/RavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/RavensFlock.online. Listening to this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Give us reviews. Give us all the stars. Give us your take on these issues. And of course, we're going to have this on YouTube.com/RavensFlock, home of Los Amigos playing the Ravens Flock. And we're going to have this up. And we're also going to have up the poll on our Facebook page with this episode. Give us your opinion. Tell us what you think about these issues. We want to hear from you. Thank you very much for listening in to the Uncensored Interview and Review podcast of the Ravens Flock. This has been the Black Files, and we are